Susie had mentioned about choices, and I want to just comment on how choices are limited, and in many ways it's an illusion, especially when it comes to food and healthcare choices. I'll give you just two examples. Suppose that you want to go and buy some product that you think is sustainably farmed and it's from a reputable place and whatnot. You go there and you buy the product, and you see, well, they may source, one of their ingredients uses some shady tactics. Maybe it's not particularly healthy. Well, because you need that product or you want that product, you don't have the choice to go to the company and say, well, you should not use, say, something like aspartame or something, because it may be a carcinogen. So you only have to choose. Your only choice is that product or nothing. There's nothing in between. Now, you could make that product yourself, a handmade, but then you also don't have a choice, because let's say Susie has her own garden and it's a mile away from a big factory farm, and that big factory farm uses Monsanto products, and those Monsanto products are some kind of they maybe use some pesticides, or they use some of their patented, literally patented DNA products for certain things, and so she may be thinking that she's grown this herself in her own garden, but she actually is going to be using the same water table water underneath her land that maybe has had some of those pesticides seep into them and gone from the water table underneath a Monsanto factory farm into her garden. So she may not even knowingly have a choice that the things that she's gardening contain some of these products. And furthermore, some of these big companies like Monsanto, let's say that Susie was growing her own corn, and it's downwind from the Monsanto factory farm. Well, the Monsanto people come and they one day walk into her garden when she's not home, she's at school, or she's at a friend's house, and they snip some of her corn, and they determine that she has some of their Monsanto seeds have drifted into her yard, and some of her corn is actually Monsanto patented corn. This has happened in Canada, by the way, in Alberta and in British Columbia. They could sue her and totally wipe her out economically, because their poison product that is patented and protected by the government has gotten into her garden, and they don't pay a price for their inability to control the spreading of their poison. She has to pay the price because the government backs a company that is literally poisoning the people that they are sending food to, which again shifts the health forecast years down the line, because just like in Flint, Michigan with the water, those products that are people like Susie in their own private gardens think that they're consuming good things have been poisoned. And 10 years later, because of that, she develops cervical cancer, or her daughter or a friend's daughter of her has a child that maybe has some malformation due to the consumption of these products. So there is an illusion of choice that undergirds all of this, from the very food we consume all the way down to the illusory choices that we have in healthcare. Things like Bruce, even in mental health care. I'm sure Bruce knows something about that. So I just wanted to bring that point, that there's this whole, it's like the lady from Shanghai, the Orson Welles film at the end, where the guy comes to kill his wife, who's been Wells's lover. What's real and what's not. There are 1,200 reflections. Who's the real bad guy here? And that's the way they get away with it, because they set up so many barriers to finding out the truth, and so many straw men that even people, even if the government is actually trying to ferret out corruption, which is a rarity, but even if they are genuinely trying to do, it's almost impossible because of the way these things are set up.